When uncertainty is rising, for example, because something happened like a tectonic change, like the pandemic that has hit the world, maybe less radical things, which is there may be some dynamics in the market or convergence of once separated industries. And there's a little bit of, let's say, there's a situation that raises uncertainty. There is a tendency for managers to claim that they should be changing the business model, that business model innovation is a priority. How to think about this situation, how to think about business model innovation in presence of uncertainty. One way to answer that question is to unpack and offer an answer to how to think about the business model, and the other is about how to think about uncertainty. The first part, the insight is that there are two possible ways to think about business model innovation. One is as innovating the logic of value creation and capture that the firm uses as it goes to market. For example, instead of selling products, I'm going to try to sell the equivalent service, product service system. That's one way, and I would say is a classic way. My insight is that it's not the appropriate way to think about the business model as with reference to the topic that we're talking about, because the appropriate one is the second one. The second one is that business model stands for a metaphor for the knowledge base of the firm. When managers claim we should innovate our business model, they claim what we know today, what we are comfortable with, is going to be no longer valid, but we don't know when and how. So the business model stands for a metaphor of the knowledge base of the firm. The second part is uncertainty. One way to think about uncertainty, there are several other ways, but one, let's say, practical and actionable way to think about uncertainty is to be in a condition where you have a lot of assumptions and relative few facts, which means that fundamentally you don't know. Now, what do you do in a situation when you think that the knowledge base of your firm is at risk, that the way you do things today are probably going to be no longer valid in the future, and then yet you are in presence of a lot of uncertainty? I'll give you some intuition. One way is to move forward by moving as many assumptions as possible into facts, which fundamentally means experimenting and learning. And then you may ask, how can one do that within the boundaries of an existing organization, which is not structured for that? Now, the answer to this question is actually the topic for another insight. I just leave you with an intuition. It's called experimenting at the periphery of your current business model. See you at the next one.